As there are many sectors yet to recover from the downturn earlier this year, this brings up the potential for tax loss selling. We're going to take this opportunity in the video to see if one man's trash can be another's treasure, or if one man's loser can be our winner. Stay tuned to the end of the video and I'll show you how you can find companies that are potentially suffering from being oversold. Hey, it's Nick here from Ways of Wealth. Thank you for tuning in. It's week 46 of the market recap. If this is your first time here, we highlight key events that are happening in the market right now. But before we dive into the video, I'd like to ask you a huge favor. If you get some value out of this video, if you learn something new, hit the like button. It definitely helps my channel out. And make sure to subscribe, turn that notification bell on, because we do this every single week. Before we deep dive into the video, let's first cover what tax loss selling is. I've also seen this referred to as tax loss harvesting, and this is where you sell positions in your portfolio at a loss to offset any potential capital gains. If you happen to have no capital gains in the current tax year, don't you worry, because this capital loss can be carried back up to 3 years. This process of reducing capital gains is only specific to non-registered accounts. So this would not apply to accounts like a TFSA or an RSP because they're considered registered and they already have tax benefits attached to them. Now you might be thinking that you can sell your stocks, like maybe an oil stock for example that has been absolutely beaten up this year, and then all of a sudden claim that capital loss but tomorrow buy it back at the reduced rate that it's already at. Well, not so fast, because the Canadian Revenue Agency considers this to be a superficial loss, and they have put rules in place in order to prevent investors from doing just so. The superficial loss rule states that you are not able to buy that same company back for 30 days after the sale date, and this includes any accounts that are handled by your partner, your spouse, a business that you may run, and essentially anything that could benefit yourself. But what if you think that sector is going to rebound? My suggestion would be you either play a close competitor or you play an ETF that covers that specific sector that you think is going to rebound. But remember that ETF cannot contain the company that you just sold off for your capital loss. Worst case scenario, wait the 30 days. December 29, 2020 is the last official day to close out any trades for the tax loss selling year of 2020. And this is because it takes 2 days for a trade to settle, and that would leave the settlement date on December 31st, 2020. This year's tax loss selling season may be heightened due to the fact that some sectors of the market are still down 40 to 60%. And this is exactly where the opportunity comes for our portfolios. For those investors who are looking to reallocate their portfolios, they may look to trim profits in areas that their portfolio has done well, like the tech sector, and they're looking to offset those capital gains by selling some of their losers. And this may continue to put downward pressure on those sectors that are already not doing well, and you may even be able to find companies that are more undervalued than they currently are. Now, how do we find these potential opportunities? My first suggestion would be to go look at a sector portfolio of the S&P 500 or the TSX and find what portion of it has been beaten up the most. For example, if we take a look at the TSX, we see that the REIT sector is still yet to recover from the highs earlier this year. And although we've seen some recent strength in the numbers due to the vaccine news, these companies are still heavily undervalued. From there, I would look into the sector a little bit more to find some quality names to put on my watch list to see if there's any further weakness in the coming weeks. One article I saw that analyzed 5 years worth of history on the Toronto Stock Exchange showed that when stocks were down 15% or more in a current year, they went on to continue that trend, underperforming the market from mid-November to mid-December by another 4%. These same stocks then outperform the market from mid-December to mid-January by almost 4%. This is likely being driven by people like us who are taking advantage of the tax loss selling, or people that are waiting the 30 days to buy back in. To help get you started, I found a company that has put together a few underperformers on the TSX in a website to which I will link down below. But these could be some potential buying opportunities. With that being said, it is important to remember why these companies are down. Is it something that's fundamentally wrong with the business, or is it a trend that will probably not come back? It's important that you do the research. Obviously, I am not a financial advisor. I just wanted to provide you with an idea, something that you can touch on a little bit further in hopes that you can find companies that have been beaten up and undervalued, and you can get them at a further discount. If you do have any more questions about tax loss selling, I would definitely suggest reaching out to your accountant or your local tax specialist. And that's all for this week in the market recap. Thank you if you made it this far. I appreciate your support. Again, if you got some value out of this video, if you've learned something new, smash the like button. It definitely helps my channel out. If you enjoyed it and you're still here, hit that subscribe button, turn that notification bell on. We do this every single week. I hope you have a great week in the markets. Happy trading.